Welcome back to part 2 of our journey through all 50 states, each with a fun, surprising, or little-known fact that's too good to ignore. We started with the first 13 states from Alabama to Illinois, and now we're picking up the trail with the next batch from Indiana to Montana. Each state brings its own slice of quirky history, natural wonders, or cultural flair. Buckle up, we're diving into 13 more incredible stories from across the USA. Number 14, Indiana, 19th state. Welcome to Santa Claus, Indiana, a real town with a real post office that gets flooded with letters to St. Nick every December. What started as a small Midwestern town with an unusual name has turned into a year-round celebration of Christmas cheer. The town leaned into its name in the 1930s, building attractions like the Santa Claus Museum, Candy Castle, and the nation's first theme park centered around Kris Kringle. Volunteers, called Santa's Elves, still help answer thousands of letters every year. It's not just a gimmick, it's a tradition that brings joy to families across the country. Whether you're dropping off a letter to Santa or visiting the holiday-themed amusement park, Santa Claus, Indiana is like stepping into a living Christmas card. Number 15, Iowa, 29th state. Iowa is famous for its cornfields, but it's also the birthplace of something unexpected: sliced bread. Yep. The expression "greatest thing since sliced bread" actually started in the small town of Chillicothe, Iowa. In 1928, a jeweler-turned-inventor named Otto Rohwitter built the first automatic bread-slicing machine. It was installed at the Chillicothe Baking Company, and suddenly, pre-sliced loaves became all the rage across the country. Today, Iowa honors this invention with a Sliced Bread Day and commemorative signs. It may sound simple, but this humble innovation changed how America made sandwiches forever. Number 16, Kansas, 34th state. Kansas might seem flat, but it's home to one of the weirdest natural phenomena in the country: the Monument Rocks, a series of ancient chalk formations rising out of the plains like desert cathedrals. Formed from an inland sea that covered the area millions of years ago, these white spires and buttes are full of marine fossils, including shells and even prehistoric fish bones. It's a fossil hunter's dream and a surreal sight in the middle of farmland. Locals call them the Chalk Pyramids, and they're one of the state's first national natural landmarks. Standing beside them, you feel like you've been dropped onto an alien planet, or at least into an ancient prehistoric one. Number 17, Kentucky, 15th state. Keeneland, Churchill Downs. Mint juleps. Kentucky's association with horse racing is legendary, and nowhere is that more clear than at the Kentucky Derby, the longest continuously held sporting event in the United States. The first Derby was run in 1875, inspired by European racing traditions, and it's been a springtime ritual ever since. From extravagant hats to the playing of My Old Kentucky Home, it's more than just a race, it's a cultural event. And don't forget the horses. The best thoroughbreds in the world come to compete in the Run for the Roses, chasing glory in just 2 minutes that define their careers and make Kentucky the heart of American horse racing. Number 18, Louisiana, 18th state. Laissez les bon temps rouler. That's Cajun French for let the good times roll, and nowhere is that spirit more alive than in Louisiana. But did you know it's also the only state that uses parishes instead of counties? This unique setup dates back to colonial times, when the territory was ruled by the Catholic Church under French and Spanish governance. When Louisiana became a state, it kept the church-based regional boundaries and called them parishes. Today, the 64 parishes are a nod to Louisiana's distinct blend of culture, history, and law. It's just one more thing that makes the Pelican State feel like a world all its own. Number 19, Maine, 23rd state. In the rocky coastal town of Eastport, Maine, locals celebrate a festival every year where a giant sardine and a maple leaf are dropped from a crane at midnight. One for the locals, one for the tourists. Maine is proud of its fishing heritage, especially its sardine and lobster industries, which have fed generations. Eastport, the easternmost city in the U.S., has taken that pride and turned it into a quirky New Year's tradition. Whether you're cheering for the fish or the leaf, the event is classic Maine. Part tongue-in-cheek, part celebration, and all about community. It's a drop that brings people together in more ways than one. Number 20, Maryland, 7th state. Maryland may be small, but it was the birthplace of the U.S. national anthem. During the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner while watching a British attack on Fort McHenry in Baltimore. After a long night of bombardment, Key saw that the American flag still flew over the fort, an emotional moment that inspired the poem. It was later set to music and eventually became the national anthem in 1931. Fort McHenry still stands today and flies a replica of that 15-star flag. Visitors can walk the same grounds that inspired a country's rallying cry and see where history met melody. Number 21, Massachusetts, 6th state. Boston, Massachusetts is the birthplace of the American Revolution, and it's where the very first American subway system was built. Opening in 1897, the city was ahead of its time in solving traffic problems, known today as the T. Boston's subway began with a single tunnel and a few stations. People were wary of going underground at first, but the city quickly embraced the new idea. Now, the system carries hundreds of thousands of people daily and serves as a model of early American innovation. Massachusetts didn't just start revolutions, it dug underground to move them forward. Number 22, Michigan, 26th state. Michigan isn't just surrounded by lakes, it has more shoreline than California. But one of its coolest natural features is the mystery spot near St. Ignace, where the laws of gravity seem to break down. Visitors experience balls rolling uphill, people growing taller or shorter depending on where they stand, and other optical illusions that baffle the senses. While it's all about physics, trickery, and visual perception, the attraction has been drawing curious minds since the 1950s. Michigan proves you don't need magic to be amazed, just a good illusion and a curious spirit. Number 23, Minnesota, 32nd state. Minnesota is known for its 10,000 lakes, but it's also the birthplace of the beloved frozen treat, the popsicle. It all started when an 11-year-old boy accidentally left a cup of soda and a stirring stick outside overnight. That boy, Frank Epperson, eventually patented his invention as the Epsicle, which later became the popsicle. The chilly treat took off, especially during the hot summers of the Midwest. Today, Minnesota celebrates its sweet legacy with pride. Whether it's lakeside snacking or a quick frozen delight, summer in Minnesota wouldn't be the same without that accidental invention. Number 24, Mississippi, 20th state. Blues music has deep roots in Mississippi, and nowhere is that clearer than in the Mississippi Delta, often called the birthplace of the blues. Legend says that blues legend Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil at a crossroads in Clarksdale to become a guitar master. While the tale is folklore, the music he created changed the world. Today, the Delta Blues Museum celebrates that legacy, and the Mississippi Blues Trail connects dozens of historic sites. Mississippi didn't just create a sound, it launched a genre that still echoes around the globe. Number 25, Missouri, 24th state. Missouri is home to the tallest man-made monument in the United States, the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, which stands 630 feet tall. Built in the 1960s as a tribute to westward expansion, the arch marks the starting point of the Lewis and Clark expedition. You can even ride a tram to the top and get a bird's-eye view of the Mississippi River. It's a stunning piece of engineering and a powerful symbol of exploration and ambition. Missouri quite literally built a gateway to history, and it's one you can walk through. Number 26, Montana, 41st state. Montana is often called Big Sky Country for good reason. Its vast open landscapes make it one of the best places in the U.S. to see the Milky Way with the naked eye. One of the most popular stargazing spots is Glacier National Park, where crystal-clear skies reveal shooting stars, constellations, and even the northern lights on rare occasions. In Montana, the night sky isn't just a backdrop, it's a show. If you've ever wanted to feel small in the most beautiful way possible, just look up in the Treasure State. And that wraps up part 2 of our epic journey across America's most fascinating facts. 13 more states, 13 more reasons to fall in love with the stories that make each place unique. From Christmas towns to revolutionary songs, sliced bread to space-like skies, the road trip continues to surprise. Next up, part 3, where we venture from Nebraska to South Carolina. Don't miss what's coming, some of the best is still ahead. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and click the notifications bell for more exciting videos. Stay curious, we're just getting started. Click on the link so that you can enjoy part 3 as we continue our journey across America.